An epic journey awaits. Join me and my time-traveling apprentice, Remembro, as we take you back to the 90s.
1990 had its fair share of one-season wonders. While some were absolutely horrible, others faced premature cancellation. From an animated Rosey and Bar to the cartoon adventures of Kid and Play and the New Kids on the Block. Some of these titles make you think, who in the world thought this was a good idea? Today we're counting down 10 cartoons from 1990 that ran for only one season. Leave us a comment below if you remember watching any of these.
Yo, kid, wanna get high? You lost, little boy?
With the wrong place.
No wonder you guys are so fucked up.
Number 10, Little Rosey. An animated spin-off of Roseanne that centered around the comedian's childhood. The series revolved around a young 8-year-old girl, Rosey, and her two best friends, Tess and Buddy. The three would use their imaginations to overcome the obstacles they faced, such as spelling bees, family vacations, and rules their parents forced upon them. The cast usually congregated in a treehouse in Rosey's backyard. Other characters included Rosey's parents, her younger sister Nani, her brother Tater, and a pair of nemesis science geeks. Roseanne didn't voice her character, but they somehow managed to find someone with an equally annoying voice that definitely didn't sound like an 8-year-old girl. A second season was planned for the series, with Bar coming in to take over the role. However, the executives at ABC felt the show needed some changes to improve it and bring it more in line of what they felt their audience wanted. Bar and husband Arnold disagreed with ABC's stance and fought against the changes. ABC ultimately canceled the show, citing bad ratings, leaving one episode unaired until August the following year. That episode was called Not Rosey, Roseanne. After being canceled, an animated special called The Rosey and Buddy Show was produced as a primetime special. It aired on May 15th, 1992, in which Rosey and Buddy invade Cartoonland to take on the meddling executives who wanted to change their show. In the 1992 special, Bar voiced the character.
Nice lunch, but what do we do now?
Number 9, The New Adventures of He-Man. The sequel series to He-Man, taking place 10,000 years into the future. Prince Adam is brought from the past to protect the planet Primus from the evil mutants led by Flug and Skeletor. The season ran for 65 episodes, and this was Mattel's attempt at cashing in yet again with He-Man merchandise.
Now it's your turn. You have to go for I got He-Man, Hawkman.
Most reviews noted a dramatic shift in tone, creating a sense of discontinuity compared to the original. The character designs have been described as bland. Just like He-Man in the Masters of the Universe, it has PSAs at the end of each episode.
When there's an emergency, the first rule is, don't panic. It's easier to work things out when you stay calm.
The significantly different character designs, to coincide with the new He-Man toy line, and shift from fantasy to sci-fi turned many fans off from the series at the time of its debut. The toy line included 28 figures, 3 vehicles, and a few role-playing games. Number 8, The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3. Looking to cash in on the mega success of the video game, Super Mario 3, we join Mario and Luigi in 26 action-packed adventures based on the classic Nintendo game. Released on September 8, 1990 on NBC, episodes were divided into 2 segments of around 11 minutes each. Episodes opened with a title card featuring world map footage taken from the game, and often featured the use of power-ups and other elements from the game. 13 episodes were produced before getting canceled. The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3 focuses on Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Princess Toadstool, who live in the Mushroom World. Most of the episodes revolve around the 4 characters' efforts to prevent the attacks made by King Koopa and the Koopalings. The Adventures of Super Mario 3 was the second of 3 cartoons based on the Super Mario Bros. Franchise, originally broadcast on NBC alongside the second season of Captain N, the Game Master.
Come on, Kid Vid.
They're teenagers. They're ninjas. They're green.
We're dealing with a real mind here.
Ha!
Number 7, Swamp Thing. Scientist Alec Holland invents a growth substance that could end world hunger, but a plantation owner obsessed with immorality tries to steal it and causes an accident that turns Alec into a human plant mutant protector of the bayou. Similar to Troma's Toxic Crusaders, the animation style of Swamp Thing follows the trend of goofy, horror anti-heroes made for children. Spoofing Chip Taylor's Wild Thing, the opening theme plays Swamp Thing, You Are Amazing.
Swamp Thing. You are amazing.
Swamp Thing was rejected by CBS, leading to its mid-season debut on Fox. Despite the series' limited number of episodes, NBC featured it during Chip and Pepper's Cartoon Madness in the fall of '91. The Sci-Fi Channel would syndicate it years later. The animated series aired concurrently with a more successful live-action adaptation of the comic book. The series corresponded with Kenner's Swamp Thing action figure collection, released in 1990, which included 12 figures and 4 vehicles.
Is he good?
A Swamp Thing video game was developed for the NES and Game Boy. Both versions were released by THQ in December of '92 and were met with generally poor reception. Also, there was a handheld game made by Tiger.
After these messages, we'll be back.
Number 6, Barnyard Commandos. Released September 4th, 1990, 1 year after the toy line launch. The cartoon is about farm animals who consumed radioactive materials left over from an abandoned military experiment, mutating them into hyper-intelligent paramilitary troops. This consisted of 2 hilariously harmless opposing teams: the Rams, rebel army of military sheep, and the Porks, platoon of rebel killer swine. Yet another cartoon created to sell merchandise. 2 series of Barnyard Commandos toys were produced, each including several figures from both teams. Similar to Mattel's Food Fighters, the figures are non-posable and made of soft, hollow plastic. Burger King also produced a series of tie-in toys as kid meal promotions. Only 4 of the planned 13 episodes aired, and honestly, I remember the toy ad more than the actual cartoon.
Red button, a ram of great vision. Rams, follow me! Sergeant Wooly Pullover! Have a nice day, Holmes. Barnyard Commandos!
Dog, Nick.
There's a million toys at Toys R Us. I wanna be a Toys R Us kid.
Number 5, TailSpin. This cartoon came as a surprise to me. I didn't expect TailSpin to be part of a one-season wonder list, but in fact, it only ran for 1 season. While not necessarily canceled, it was simply not renewed. TailSpin featured versions of characters adapted from Disney's 1967 animated feature, The Jungle Book, notably Baloo the bear, Louie the orangutan, and Shere Khan the tiger, along with new characters created for the show. The series centers on the adventures of bush pilot Baloo the bear, whose air cargo freight business, Baloo's Air Service, is taken up by Rebecca Cunningham, who has a young daughter named Molly. Upon his default on delinquent bills with the bank and his perceived irresponsibility in running a business by Rebecca, she takes over the business and renames it Hire for Hire, making her Baloo's boss. An orphan boy and former air pirate, the ambitious grizzly bear Kit Cloudkicker attaches to Baloo and becomes his navigator. He sometimes calls Baloo Papa Bear. Together, they are the crew of Hire for Hire's only aircraft. Even though TailSpin only ran for 1 season, 65 episodes were produced, and reruns ran off and on all the way up to 2008. The cartoon was massively popular and also had 3 video games based on the series. 2 episodes of TailSpin drew varied amounts of controversy, enough for one episode to be temporarily banned, and the other to be permanently banned. The episode Last Horizons was temporarily banned due to some Asian stereotyping. The permanently banned episode Flying Dukes was immediately pulled from the lineup. It aired once on Toon Disney, possibly by mistake. The apparent reason for this episode's permanent removal from the airwaves is the terrorist theme associated with it. Despite this ban, the episode was aired repeatedly by independent stations, including Seattle-based KSTW-TV and Family Channel in Canada. Number 4, The Wizard of Oz. Released on September 8th, 1990, The Wizard of Oz follows Dorothy, who has decided to return to Oz with Toto, using the ruby slippers that showed up on her doorstep. The Wicked Witch is somehow resurrected from the dead and has taken over Oz. She's stolen all the gifts that were given to her friends, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion. The wizard is trapped in his hot air balloon, which is under a spell that causes it to be constantly blown around by an evil wind. In the film, it's implied that Oz was a dream sequence instead of a real place, while in the cartoon, it was a real land. Many people agree that these continuity issues ruined the plot of the cartoon. The series ended on a cliffhanger, with the wizard still adrift in his balloon. 13 episodes were produced before being canceled.
You'll never learn.
Subscribe already.
Great taste. Driver, get us out of here.
Where to?
Of McDonald's.
Number 3, Wake, Rattle, and Roll. Released on September 17th, Wake, Rattle, and Roll was a mix of live-action skits and animated shorts. A boy named Sam Baxter and his robot Dex have adventures in the basement, which has a time machine that can bring back historical figures. After a short live-action skit, Dex would turn on the television screen on his torso and display an animated short. There were 2 new Hanna-Barbera series made exclusively for the program. The first was Monster Tales, about a group of pets who live in a castle in Transylvania, with their guardian Igor Jr., the son of Igor. Each of them had similar personalities to their masters, who are in Hollywood making movies. The second was Fender Bender 500, which was a spin-off of Wacky Races. Although the segment was not a series of its own, this was the fourth all-star sports show from Hanna-Barbera. When the show was reissued, 2 more segments were added, Dino and the Cave Mouse, and Undercover Elephant. As the show's title suggests, Hanna-Barbera intended the show to air on its affiliated stations in a morning time slot before school. After its single season on the air of syndication, Wake, Rattle, and Roll moved exclusively to the Disney Channel under the title Jump, Rattle, and Roll, with the title adjustment due to its repeats not being confined to mornings. 50 episodes were produced. Number 2, Kid and Play. Released on September 8th on NBC, Kid and Play stressed positive role models, teaching children how to get along with each other and stay out of trouble. The lessons range from serious to lighter fare. The real Kid and Play appeared in live-action wraparounds of the cartoons. However, voice actors were used during the animated segments. Kid and Play did the cartoon with the belief that NBC was also going to produce a sitcom. When the cartoon got canceled, Kid and Play were furious. In an interview with the Hip Hop Confessions podcast, Reed said, "We was feeling some kind of way, because that cartoon was really important to us. We told our managers, look, if they're going to clip this cartoon, we don't want to do a sitcom with them." Reed shared that he and Martin believed that putting their foot down would give them both their cartoon and sitcom.
I like the Sprite and you.
Hey, yo, kid, where's the party? Check it out, kid, and I kid you not. I like the Sprite. I like the Sprite a lot.
However, NBC moved on and gave the sitcom deal to Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff, which became The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. In 1992, Marvel Comics published a comic book based on the cartoon, which ran for 9 issues. 13 episodes of the cartoon were produced before being canceled. Number 1, New Kids on the Block. Released September 8th on ABC, in each episode the group is traveling to a concert when something takes them off track, ending in a pro-social moral lesson. In the opening and ending of each episode, they appear as themselves. With quick edits to the live-action footage of the New Kids on the Block, and the animation effects were added to episodes to cover for animation errors, done because the production was rushed. And of course, they also had a large toy line.
Joseph, Jonathan, Jordan, Johnny, and Danny. Who's your number 1 fan? I'm your number 1 fan. I've got all 5 conjugates, all 5 personal interviews. Get all the kids, their stage, and the new kids on the block follow. The New Kids on the Block. Who's the number 1 fan? I am. New Kids on the Block concert kids come with the set, stage, and endless gift and accessories sold separately. The
cartoon aired in reruns from October 12, 1991 to 1993 on the Disney Channel. A primetime special, New Kids on the Block Christmas, aired on ABC on December 14, 1990. Even though the New Kids on the Block were insanely popular, it wasn't enough to save this cartoon. Well, there you have it, 10 cartoons from 1990 that only ran for 1 season. Don't forget to leave us a comment if you remember watching any of these.
Ranch, Keebler Munchums. Remember those? Damn, do we have to go back to the future, or... Damn! Princess Peach was looking ripe.